But this, for me, is a bit of an indulgence. This isn't necessarily what I would advise doing, but it's what I'm going to do. It's a game. I'm going to have fun. I've already... Hey, welcome back to the channel. All right, I've got 75 6-star 6 stones. That's not easy to say, by the way, at least not for me. They're all expiring. I have 125 in my stash. These 75 are expiring. Most of this is my own fault. I finished up the gauntlet very early. I had thought about waiting on it, and then the folks on my Discord server really talked me through, and they're like, look, dude, you know that you're going to want a rank 4 champion as soon as that's possible. And we don't know when Gauntlet's coming back. Yes, it is coming back. That's a great thing. But you have the roster to defeat the Gauntlet. You should do it. And you'll figure out something to do with the 6 stones. And yet here I am. There's 21 hours left. But we do have an item use event on for Alliance. So I figure I might as well use them. Waiting another 20 hours is not going to help. In fact, if anything, it'll freak me out. Because what if the game goes down or I get busy or something happens and then I just lose these 75? I have agonized over this. I have annoyed the heck out of my Discord server, I am sure, my line chats. Pretty much anyone that would talk to me about this has given me plenty of answers, and I'm going to probably pick some unusual champions. We'll talk a little bit about it. I will put a timestamp into when I actually pick the champions. That way, if you want to just jump to that, which I would completely understand, we can do that. And I would like to try to keep my prestige high without going insane on the resource spending. So there was a lot that went into this for me, and I have to thank you. If you're watching this far, that makes me think that you probably are someone who watches a lot of my videos, and I really appreciate it because you are one of the people, or the types of people, or the kinds of people who have reminded me that I needed to prioritize fun. I'm always someone who, when I get asked a rank up question, I say, well, do you enjoy the champion? If you enjoy the champion, then we can move on to step 2. If you don't, then probably not, because the fact of the matter is if you don't enjoy them, you're not going to play them. And then obviously step 2 is are they good? Did they help your roster, right? So I considered a lot of champions. Just so you know who was in consideration, I have my little list here. Namor was obviously an option. I just don't enjoy playing him. Captain America Infinity War, I already have him at rank 3. He's at SIG 110. It would make a lot of sense to bring him up. I have my reservations. We can talk about that. Red Guardian, Omega Red, Ghost, Immortal Abomination, Namor. I even considered Hulkbuster because I just enjoy him that much. I enjoy playing him, and I just took him to rank 3. In fact, that video should come out relatively soon. And then Sorcerer Supreme, who I've just recently taken up to rank 3. She is an absolute blast. So I've got all of these in the stash here, and the overflow, the expiry here. We know that the 4th of July is coming up, and there will probably be even more of these, so I'm trying to keep that in mind. By then I'll know what class America Chavez will be and how obtainable she will be for me, and if I've gotten her. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna have some fun, and treat this almost like an indulgence. I know this is weird because they're 6-star and they're generic, but this for me is a bit of an indulgence. This isn't necessarily what I would advise doing, but it's what I'm going to do. It's a game. I'm going to have fun. I've already looked at Aunt May. I've tabulated the what SIG levels we can get these to. So let's go ahead and do this. Let's have some fun with this. And we are starting finally. I know what I'm gonna do. I even wrote it down. All right. I'm starting off with Sorcerer Supreme. She's incredible. I just used her to solo the Summer of Pain Rogue. She was fantastic for it. Absolutely fantastic. All the things you expect her to do, she can do. The healing up from the block, her ability to place a slow, intercepting with specials. The power gain was really nice, very helpful in that fight. The damage, no, she's not the best damage dealer in the game, but I have an absolute blast playing her. She is one of my favorite champions to utilize when there's just a generic quest. I go and I grab her. So here we go. I want to make sure I use the generics, not the class stones. And so I'm going to put in, I have 28 here, and I'll explain why. We'll check her SIG level to confirm, but Aunt May is usually right on. So that's going to bring her to 88, and I will explain why I'm doing this. Part of me kind of wants the server monster to not take these away, but you know what? I'm putting this out on a video, and I'm an honest person, so I would tell Kabam. All right, so hopefully these get tabulated in soon. There you go. So server monster is delaying us. I think, you know, you wait this long through the server monster, you should get your stones back. You should get your stones back. Yeah, let's work on that. Can we make that a thing? Can we make that something? All right, I'm sure pretty soon, any minute now. All right, there we go. So let's check her out so we can see why I did that. This was not a pure indulgence rank. This was, Sig up. It is a little bit because I enjoy her. And yes, of course, if I was going to be taking up Omega Red or Ghost or something like that, they would receive, let's say, more of a benefit, or it's a more essential part of their kit. However, I think that there's some sense to this too. It's not just pure indulgence. And that is, we are seeing this more and more in the game. We're seeing nodes and champions who decrease our ability accuracy. We're seeing the disorient, we're seeing concussion, we're seeing, and like I said, we're seeing these nodes, right? That's part of what made Apocalypse so incredible. There's lots of reasons for it, but that's part of why he was so incredible for Gauntlet. This is his ability to go immune. We have champions like Archangel and Mysterio, and I believe, I can't think of someone else, but I know there's someone else. But even with Archangel, there's ways around it. If you read through the kit, it's that it can't be reduced by the defender, right? But nodes can do it. And so getting Sorcerer Supreme's Sig level as high as possible seems good. And I had someone who I will, when I have overflow situations like this, I will continue to do it. But getting her above 30% felt like a big deal for me. And the reason is because I feel like we're seeing the nodes and abilities that reduce ability actually by 15%. So if I can get 2 of these nodes on me, or 2 of these debuffs, or 2 of these passives on me, and still have 100% ability accuracy, I'll take that. Additionally, and I'll cover this in my rank 3 video on her, she already covered Domino exceptionally well at, I believe it was 15%. So this is really just doubling up. I don't think this will help against Domino unless there's some sort of node too, but this will be extremely helpful. And just in case you don't see my rank 3 video, I want to make this very clear. Do not try to evade her Domino specials when you're unlucky. That's, I believe, 100%. So do not do that, even if you have this plus ability accuracy. And then, of course, the potency of the blessings. I mean, why would I not want that? But that's truly like, you know, the cherry on top of the sundae. Like, so far removed from my reasoning, but making her more powerful, I enjoy her. And then getting the plus 30% ability accuracy to me is a big deal. I really do enjoy that about the champions that have that and that I use. And getting this more powerful, because this isn't just a node or a defender. I don't see a way for Kabam to get around this that's currently in the game. It would have to be like Nick Fury's disorient, I think it's like 70% or something like that, right? So there we go. I'm very excited about that. 88 sounds good. We're above 30%. If I dupe her more times, even better. And then if I have another scenario like this, I will look to potentially sig her up. All right, so now the next one, and this is for my buddy Work in Progress. Hopefully he's still watching. Part of him's probably like disgusted already. He's an awesome player and a great, great guy. Very fortunate to have met him. And here you go, Work. You know, you're right. When you're right, you're right. Namor, and I think it's DLL who said, it might have been Work, but this seems more like a DLL thing to say than Work, said that when you can use Namor, he's an elegant option, and that is true. And like my buddy Work in Progress, if you've seen my Gauntlet video and my spreadsheets on it, he used Namor quite a few times. When Namor works, he works incredibly well. I just happen to not enjoy using Namor. The fact of the matter is what he does, to the best of my knowledge, and correct me if I'm wrong, no one else in the game can do this. I only have him at rank 2. I believe that as of right now, if rank 4 champions were a thing, he would be the highest mutant based on the way Sunspot and he scaled as 5 stars. It would appear as though Namor will overtake Sunspot. I do think some higher prestige champions will be coming out, but we don't know when that's going to happen. I wonder if Kabam even knows exactly when that's going to happen. I don't know how far they plan these things out. It will obviously eventually happen, but for now, the prestige would be nice, and the only way to access what makes Namor special is through his Sig ability. So I have him already at 140. I'm going to put 40 stones in and bring him to 180. The reason I am doing that, let's see if this works. I've never done it this way before. The reason I'm doing this is, all right, let's go ahead and confirm that. I'll talk while the server computates it. The reason I'm doing 180 instead of all the way to 200, because it is 200 that really gets you that 100% damage applied back to the defender, or to, the defender, or the opponent, I guess it probably is because I don't have them at rank 3. I have a maxed out 5-star at SIG 200. I do not, this anymore is a rank 2. Mutant is so good. You can see all my my rank 3s there with Sunspot, Magneto, Archangel, Cable, Apocalypse, Professor X. Like, it is almost an embarrassment of riches there with them. I would eventually like to take up, of course, Colossus, Magneto, Strife, and others. Gambit, seeing all the cool things that my buddy Meta has been doing, and of course, buddy Lee, the awesome YouTube channel, awesome YouTuber. But I think if I had a mutant, Tier 5 CC, I would take up Namor. It would increase my prestige, and then if and when I need to do the damage back, I would use him. And then who knows? Maybe I'd end up enjoying him. Who knows? You never know. He's got a nice little synergy there with Kingpin. And, we just never know. We just never know. So I've got him up to SIG 180, which would give him 90%. 90% isn't bad. We'd be looking for 100. But as said, as you can see, I could get him to 200 the day I take him up to rank 3. So I'm excited about that. I am. It feels good to utilize and to access an ability that just wasn't there before in a champion. So that feels good. And then, so now that leaves us, I've spent 68 of these, which should leave me, I guess, 7 left. And I'm going to put the last few here into my buddy Immortal Abomination. We are just going to bring him to 85. His SIG is really nice. Once you get to about 80 or 100, you kind of are losing a lot of the value per SIG. Take a look at his signature levels. Play around with Aunt May. It's a wonderful resource. And you'll see just how much it is increasing his damage to get him awakened. And then as you jump from 20, 40, 60, and I've got him at 80 now, and it is noticeable. It is noticeable how much more quickly we get into the damage and how much more potent the damage is, and then how much longer it lasts. If you can get him to about this is the sweet spot. I'm just doing 85 because I like that number a lot better than 82. In fact, I like 84. 84, it feels good. It won't bother me. This was pure indulgence. And so now I should have 5 left. And who doesn't want more SIG stones on their ghosts? 135 feels like a great number. I'm slowly getting her to 200. I don't use her a ton. I don't use her competitively in war. But I recognize how incredibly powerful she is. It is she is a champion that I wouldn't mind getting back into. When she first came into this game, I got her very early and used her to take down, this is so far long ago that Morningstar bosses were a thing in war. I would use her to take them down. It was an absolute blast. I enjoyed it. And then as war got more complex and as the game went on, I just stopped playing her. I just did. But I've got her at rank 3 now. I'm aware of how powerful the SIG is for her. This is pure indulgence, putting those 5 in, and then I'll just slowly add to her, like a piggy bank, right? Come home with loose change, put it in the piggy bank, and who knows, maybe 2 years from now, she's SIG 200. So that's it. But I feel good about how I use them. I am saving up for this champion that I just absolutely love, want to take up. If I had gone purely on indulgence, it would have been Professor X or Shang-Chi. But the bang for the buck on them is just, I was having trouble justifying it. I am aware that prestige is a thing, and now that rank 4s are coming into the game, while they both have high prestige, putting all those resources into them when I believe that higher prestige champions will be coming out, I couldn't get myself there. And then Captain America Infinity War, I said I'd talk about him. Captain America Infinity War is an incredibly powerful champion. I have him on my top shelf in my own personal champions rankings, which is the highest tier. It's my highest tier, my highest column. And I think he's great. I think he's incredible. I think there's so many things he can do in this game. And I think if you already have him at a high sig, or if he's one of your only science tier rank 3 champions, I think it makes a lot of sense to get him to sig 200, because that's where so much of his utility is coming from. There's a tremendous amount, and getting it to sig 200 provides the 100% chance to do things, which when you can get guaranteed in this game, you nab it. We all know how painful it is to have the 90% fail. That 10% chance to happen, it happens. It's painful. We don't like it. And it always happens at the worst moments, right? That being said, for me, for my account, I tend to have a lot of options for things. And so I frequently find myself using other champions, utilizing other champions. And so to spend what would have been 90 sig stones to get him to sig 200 for me was more than I wanted to do for a champion that I don't utilize often. But I can also completely understand how powerful he is and how well utilized those sig stones would be for anyone who chooses to use them in him. And then I think the last one was Omega Red. My Omega Red sig 40, he's only rank 1. I have the 5-star. I never play my 6-star. I'm very, very content with my 5-star for now. If I slowly start accumulating sig levels on Omega Red, I'll look to bring him up, but it just to me made more sense. Namor's already at sig 140. Namor will probably be my next mutant, given some new information that we don't have as of today. And so that's why they did not go to Omega Red. If you have any other questions, first of all, I'd love to know what you think. 2, about what I did do. And then 2, I would really be interested in, like, why didn't you do this champion? If you're curious about that, let me know. Ask. I'd love to talk it through with you, share some ideas back and forth. And as always, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. I hope you either learned something, were entertained, or even better, a little bit of both. Don't forget to like, subscribe. Thanks so much for watching. Take care.